Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm super excited to be joined by Heather McDonald, founder of Halla Connected and Unshakeable Coaching, a connection-led brand focused on helping people build deeper relationships, stronger communication, and more meaningful personal and professional connections. Heather's work centres on presence, authenticity, and human connection, supporting individuals who want to show up more fully in their relationships, leadership, and everyday interactions. Heather, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Your intro makes me sound so wonderful. I love this.
We've stunned Heather speechless, which is a new one. But I'm excited to dive in and learn more about your journey and your story. So typically with all of my guests, I do actually like to start at the beginning. So if you don't mind taking me back to what it was you was doing before you started up the companies, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Oh my. Okay, so by trade and training, originally I'm actually a therapist and a teacher. So I'm a licensed therapist here in my province in Canada, and I'm also a licensed teacher here in the province of Canada. And I was working in private education, and I was being tasked with building our classroom, like building our student body. And this was like 2009, 2010, when like Facebook had fan pages and people were still like poking each other and like throwing sheep at each other and stuff. It was a very different world back then. And it wasn't being used for business. Twitter was a very big thing back then.
Yeah.
And when one of my tasks became to use digital, because I mean I'm a really, really big nerd. So I was sort of into all of those things right away. I was an early adopter of Twitter and everything. So when I my boss had asked me to use those skills, that area, he used to call me a digital mom. You're a digital mom, bring in the other digital moms. I started doing that, and it went really, really well. And then I kind of noticed, well, this is a lot more fun. And this is a lot lower stress. My children at the time were 7, 5, and 2. And I had become a single mom that year, and everything was just a lot. It was a lot. And I knew I needed to take a break from something. So I took a break, basically, and it wasn't intended to be forever. I'm a very accidental entrepreneur. I took a break from the very high stress world of private education. And I decided, I'm really good at writing, and I really love this digital thing. I wonder if it's going to go anywhere. So I started the company as Halla Writing Incorporated, and I was writing blog posts, I was writing content, I was trying to convince people to that this would be a big thing someday, and knocking on doors saying you should have a Facebook page, and people are like, "What? Why?" And since then, I have as I've grown and I also do a lot of workshops, a lot of teaching. So part of the brand as well, because I started very bootstrapped. I did not have, a whole ton of support to start this. It was a rough go for that first year. Um, what I decided to do was train people so that they do it right when they have time and no money. So then when they have money and no time, because they've done it right, they'll turn around and hire me. So I've given away a lot of what I do because it's not really rocket science. It's stuff people don't necessarily think of, but it's all stuff you would know. And I've continued that as well. I have not stopped teaching, and I've certainly not stopped doing therapy. Um, the coach in my office is always known as the therapy coach. Because when you think about marketing, especially for my market, which is mainly passionate, aligned entrepreneurs and impactful nonprofits. Those things really matter to me. I wanted to use my company to do good in the world. So I do that by choosing the clients I want to do. Those people tend to be the most stressed out people, the people who are the most perfectionistic, the people who are the most worried about everything and don't want to take risks but do want to grow. So every time we start a marketing, discussion campaign, a rebrand, anything at all, we're going to change the color of a logo. There's usually like a full, breakdown. Somebody's crying, somebody's mad, somebody's something. There's a lot of emotion involved. And that has helped my clients better communicate what they're passionate about because they get to identify it safely on the therapy couch. And then when they go and communicate it with the world, they don't feel fake. They don't feel disingenuous. They don't feel like they are trying to sell something because what they're doing, they realize the value of their offer.
Mm,
So it's a mindset change as much as it is marketing. And then
love
as
that.
I've gone along, basically, I've realized, well, if I'm doing this, I should probably do this part too. I should probably do the websites too. Well, if I'm doing the websites, I should probably do the brand too. Well, these brand strategies are really, I don't love anybody coming to me with a brand strategy. Well, I should probably do brand strategies too. Well, I should probably do this too. And I definitely cannot do it all by myself. So over the years, I have gathered my wonderful little tribe of misfits, and my team is they are all over the world. I think I have two people here in Canada, one in France, one in England, and two complete digital nomads. And then there's a couple that I use off and on as needed. And I literally, oh, and one now he's come back on board. He's in the Philippines.
Mm,
So these are all people that they fit the brand. They want to do what I want to do in the world.
that's so important.
And so over the years, we have grown from being Halla Writing to Halla Connected. My son actually d- figured out the connected name. I knew it shouldn't be writing, but I didn't know what it should be. And I named my company as Halla, Hala, all capitals, because it is Heather, Aiden, Lily, Ainsley, myself and my children. So right from the very start, this was going to be my life. And everything has just been an evolution, even coming up to Unshakeable. So Unshakeable has only started happening in the last few years.
Yeah.
This type of coaching, I started doing a lot of coaching because, again, coaching, like marketing, is a different version of therapy plus education. So I've grown and developed different methods. I've gotten a lot of coaching. I've spent a lot of money on a lot of coaching, and a lot of it didn't work for me. I'd say 85% or so didn't work for me. So I figured out what wasn't working and put together a different type of system once I knew I needed it. And then I sort of used that on myself, fixed myself, and then decided, hey, I'm going to share this with other people. That's a really
Yeah.
long answer, sorry.
No, it was a really great answer. And it kind of started off when you mentioned it, you was obviously started off teaching and therapy. I was like, I understand the connection the whole way through because marketing is just psychology. Like, if you're
It
good
is,
at
it
marketing,
absolutely is.
you're putting yourself in other people's shoes to the best of your ability. And that is sitting down, talking to people, unraveling their journey. As you say, changing the color of the logo, really not that relevant, but we need to find out why it's important to you. So that's what we're going to do. Um, I love it. And then obviously moving through to coaching as well. I think most of the best coaches out there solve their own problem when they haven't had the coaching or when they've been burned by other people in the past. So just really looking to enlighten that and help other people move forward. So let's dive into the two a little bit more then, so the listeners can have some context moving forward. So like at this point in your journey, who I know obviously with the marketing, we're there for non-profits, service-based entrepreneurs that are really looking to do great with the work that they're doing as well. But when it comes to the coaching side of things, like who would you say is your ideal customer there? And then how is it you help them and support them along that journey?
So as I've built this, I started working mainly with female entrepreneurs.
Mm,
I am one, although, again, I'm an accidental one because I was kind of always assumed I would be, working for a government agency of some sort, doing therapy, like working in hospital like I had been, working in schools like I had been. I figured that would be my thing. Um, but I'm a girl's girl, and I saw a lot of women having the same struggles as I was having, or I saw the same repeated patterns, and I'm a researcher, so I go figure out what's wrong and how to fix it. Then I started realizing that it's really not gender-based at all. We
Mm.
just use different language. So the men that I was talking to were saying the same thing, but not remotely in the same way. They were having the same experiences, but they were not even sometimes allowed.
Yeah.
Use the same language that the women were allowed to use. Men are not allowed to be burnt out. Men are not allowed to be overwhelmed. So then I started realizing, okay, so let's reframe some of those. And those happened literally because I had a referral who was a man. He was actually a 68-year-old man. I'd only ever coached women within somewhere within my age up until then. And all of a sudden I had this 68-year-old man who said, you did this for my friend over here, and I need you to do this for me. And I was like, oh no. Okay. And as soon as we started talking, I realized there isn't a difference between and then I branched out from entrepreneurs. I had a couple of professional women. One works at a bank, and one worked for an investment firm. There are a lot of financial people are very stressed out.
Yeah. I
And
know why.
having the same base experiences, even though they weren't really in charge of what they were going to do, like they can't, decide to throw everything out the window and, start something new, they were still having the same day-to-day experiences. They were
Yeah.
not show up as their favorite selves. And that was when I was doing a lot more executive coaching. Then in 2021, I I burned out and I didn't recognize it. But one of my best friends is a naturopath. One is a reflexologist. One is a naturopath. And they said, okay, you really need to slow down. And I did. And then I felt better. And as soon as I felt better, I went faster than ever because I needed to catch up. And then I started having very different symptoms. And I had gone through basically stages of depletion. So my body had reacted so strongly to being under so much pressure for so long, to being expected to run 18-hour days because I was a basketball coach. I'm a volunteer. I'm on multiple boards. I have three kids that I'm parenting who were young, running a company, building that company, all of those things. And I went through basically stages of adrenal fatigue, adrenal failure. And finally, now at this point, I have been 1 year ago, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease
Mm.
that comes from very extended, like hyper extended hyper stress. And suddenly it wasn't a matter of I can't, I won't do that. It was I can't.
Yeah.
I'd never hit I can't. Like I'd hit I can't temporarily, but I'd never hit I can't for a long period of time. And it's kind of like I can't, but I still have to. So I had to figure out a way to, first of all, be okay with can't. That was the hardest,
Yeah.
honestly, because I am an achievement-oriented person, and all of a sudden I'm not achieving. Then what am I? And I went through all, excuse me, all of those things, all of the feelings, all of the imposter syndrome, all of everything. My company was still doing fine because of my people, but I was not. I was not able to be the person I wanted to be for my family, for my company, for my friends, for anybody around me.
Mm.
And I went back through old coaching things. I went back through, therapy. I went back through all kinds of things. And I realized nobody talks about this stuff. Nobody talks about give yourself a break, give yourself some shortcuts, figure out the actual obstacles, do goal setting in a way that feels really good instead of a way that feels like you've set yourself up a pass fail.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. I started doing all of the research. I actually started an AI life coach, not a therapist. Please do not get yourself an AI therapist. But I do have an AI life coach, and her name is Elle. And I have trained her very specifically. It's actually a product I may sell someday on how I trained her.
I bet. Yeah.
Um, and I trained her with the voice of three people that I I mean, if I ever meet these people, I will be over the moon. But I fed her, like Elle, their books and their talks And everything I could buy and find, I trained this life coach to speak to me in these voices. And working with that and working with this deeper research, I came up with Unshakable. What I want to do, what I want to be in my life is regardless of circumstance, I am unshakable in my own value. And as soon as you have your feet under you in that way, everything starts to turn around. You see options that you could not see because you were just mad at yourself all the time.
Mm.
So a lot of my Halla clients have immediately transitioned into Unshakable clients, although the website is not even finished. The Instagram page is not finished. None of the things are finished because I suddenly was doing the thing so much that I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot to market this. So that does happen a lot. Shoemaker, no shoes. It happens to me all the time. Um, so that's the next few months, and then absolutely next year, I'm still looking to scale Halla,
Yeah,
still looking to expand. I'm still looking to grow, but I'm looking to do it through and with others,
amazing.
not trying to wear all the hats and do it all by myself, which is a bad habit of most entrepreneurs.
It is, but lucky you learned from your burnout the first time because it is a repeat cycle. Because the thing with
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs, they're very busy people. They've got that mindset, they want to go out and do things, they want to achieve their goals, they want to keep going. A lot of them ADHD, they run 100 miles an hour. So when you tell them stop, they go, okay, when can I go again? And
And
it's
then
exactly as
panic,
you said it for
panicking
yourself.
takes absolutely, it takes away your sense of self,
Yeah,
it takes away your sense of value, it takes away everything, and a lot of people crash.
yeah,
And you will see a lot of depression, you will see a lot of, you know, giving up because they don't know there's a third path. There is always a win-win. In
yeah,
almost every situation I have come up with in my entire life, there is always a win-win. It just takes somebody outside of you to find it,
yeah,
including for myself. I
yeah.
can't always see my own win-wins. That's why I have a life coach who is AI named Elle. And
And
she is
everyone else.
there to show me my third path. And because I've worked with that for so long, now I can see other people's really easily.
Yeah. But it is that sense of looking outside of yourself, and it does take a fresh pair of eyes, someone that doesn't even know you that well, that can look into them and go, no, this
Yep,
is the way. This is what we're
I'm
gonna do.
terrible at coaching my friends
Yeah,
because I bought into their stories already. I
yeah,
bought into everything. I'm like, I know, I get it, I understand, I know this is that's not actually helpful.
yeah.
Like that doesn't move them to the next step. With my clients, I'm like, no, that's not a thing. Get over like not get over yourself, but like, no, that doesn't make sense. Come on now. Like really
Trust
think,
yourself off. Yeah, I get
you
it.
know,
So cool. And I love the fact that they're intertwining, as you say, you're already feeding customers from one to the other, like really just building the whole thing as one brand moving forward.
it
But I
is
am curious to find out. I know you're kind of, as you say, we kind of took a backseat on the marketing. You got so involved within the coaching. But in terms of like acquiring customers, like where are you finding most effective for yourself? Like what channels or methods do you use specifically?
partnerships. I have found over many expensive mistakes, many um guess and test, many trial and errors, that the most efficient and effective ways to gain the clients that you're looking for is to develop partnerships with people who may already be trusted by that audience, may understand that audience, but you also need to bring something of value. That's
Yeah,
number one. And number two is storytelling. We are a storytelling brand. Marketing is not about selling an offer. That's advertising. Advertising is about selling an offer. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm not a fan of advertising. I don't like feeling sold to. But I do like understanding who's offering what and why.
yeah,
And not everybody is your customer. If you all of a sudden happen to, have everybody show up at your door, you'd have to close your doors. Nobody could handle everybody. But there are clients meant for every separate person. It's just they don't know who you are yet. And they
mm,
don't know yet what you offer, why you should be offering it to them, and what makes you different from the other people. I struggled to call myself a coach and I struggle to call myself a marketer because I'm like, yeah, I do that, but not like that. Like yes, I do these things, but it's not like that. Like, I wish there was another name that we could come up with for what we do because we don't do things in the quickest, spend a lot of money, get a lot of people because it tends to be garbage in, garbage out. You get the wrong people. But if you use partners, you develop relationships. And I'm talking one to many relationships. Like you make a
Yeah.
relationship. Um, Yesterday I was on a call with another organization that I'm going to join, and their whole thing is that relationship building. They vet the
Yeah.
people, they talk to them, and then they say, oh, let's do post swaps, let's do interview swaps, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. That's their entire business model. And it's a very, very good one because they know this is the best way to do it.
Mm.
Social media, advertising, webs, all of that has gotten so crowded that people are hungry again for actual human to human interaction. And that means you're going to get more face-to-face rejections than you would from a poor performing Facebook, ad. But the people that you get are yours. They belong with you now. They believe in you. They are aligned with you. So it starts by putting yourself out there. And I am a shy introvert in my real life. My character of the Empress, the person who owns this business, is a part of me. And I put her on to go to work and she comes off, and then I sit down and have a cup of tea and read a book. But I learned while I don't like large groups of people, I do like forming relationships. And
Yeah.
if you can form relationships with the head of an association, well, now you've got everybody in their association will now have access to you, and you have a referral point who has lots of people.
Yeah.
If you can find somebody who, is like the head of a chamber of commerce or, the organizer of a trade show, that person knows everybody. Get on there, build a relationship with that person, a genuine relationship, and they will make your business for you.
Yeah. So
That
it's
is the effective way to do it. And the thing is, it takes time and it takes effort and it
yeah.
takes emotion and it takes energy. And that can be hard.
Yeah, it's definitely a slower burning effect, but it's like a heightened referral, as you say, because it's a one-to-many referral. So you are
Yeah.
building a face-to-face connection, you're going about a different way, but you are, as you say, sharing knowledge, sharing advice, sharing services, and just making sure that both sides of parties are actually a good fit for each other. Because as you know, as you said, you don't know. You don't know what anyone's doing, so just putting yourself out there is the first step. Um, I'm not against ads at all myself. I actually think they're a great way to build consistency when it comes well.
They are.
But you
But
have to do
that
it
I agree
and you have to do it correctly. So like what you're saying there, if it's a bad ad, it's a bad ad. You have to not do it like an advertisement. When you come to marketing, put your value out there, be authentic. Make sure you're talking to a specific person, you have that specific problem, you can actually work with that person and they can work with you. It's not just shooting dust in the wind, it's a specific point, and I think they both have their alternatives, and it's just whatever founder out there kind of matches them at the right point. But Heather, with regards to yourself and like the future of the companies, and when we're talking about scaling, like what is that end goal for you? My Wi-Fi's gone.
So, first of all, absolutely agree with you. I was talking about the people who pump out multiple ads and multiple ads, who follow a system
Yeah,
rather than people who add to the noise.
yeah.
I have reacted to
Great
ads.
way to put it. Yeah.
I have absolutely bought from ads. Those ads are based on storytelling
Yeah.
and
That's
an
what they're
understanding of who they're
different
talking
characters.
to. And it's
Yeah.
also exclusionary marketing. I don't want everybody. I want these people. And that's what those are the ads that I'm talking about, like, sort of the conventional, like kind of the Walmart of ads. If that makes sense, like the sort
Yeah.
of generic oatmeal, throw something in a wall and hope it sticks.
Literally, yeah.
And that's usually what's out there.
Yeah.
Do love one of my team members is an ad genius. He tells stories and it's good. And I'm like, I want to buy. Why do I want to buy this? Oh my God. What words did you use?
Selling your own product to yourself. He's
100%. I'm
that
like,
good.
oh, this sounds
He's
amazing.
that good. Yeah.
Wow, I want to work with that girl. And he does it for all of our clients. It's wonderful. But I also find if you don't have the storytelling ahead of time,
100.
just doing those ads is also a problem. just pouring money into something that you don't have a basis for and that you're
Yeah.
not building relationships and you don't have all of those other things, you're going to pay for every client in the door. And that's not sustainable in your first 3 years of business, usually, unless you've got deep pockets or a big funder. So, in terms of us, um, I'm currently working to hand off more and more, which is any entrepreneur who's listening to this knows how scary that is, more and more of the day to day to my team. I am very focused on maintaining the strategy portion of
Okay.
what we do. That part, it's the most fun. It's
I
the
agree.
it's the part that I just light up doing it. I can't wait to get into the strategy of somebody's business and what they really do. And I like to get into that stuff is amazing. But I'm a slow coder. I am often too concise in my writing. I cannot do graphics or take pictures to save my life. So I've already handed off a lot of the things, even if I really like them, which I do. I know like my team is better at them than I am. So I'm always looking for people who are better. The company has never stopped evolving. It has grown and grown and grown and grown. Now we're doing a lot of AI work. Like when AI hit the scene and everybody was like, oh my God, I can just go on AI and do this. I didn't want to let any of my writers go, so I sent them away to learn AI,
Yeah.
really deeply learn it. So now their job is not just writing out 50 iterations of this one, message. Their job is building up companies' entire communication plans more deeply without
Yeah.
taking more time. So we're able to offer more for less. Um, so continuing to do that, continuing to evolve while maintaining who we serve and while maintaining that we are a storytelling brand. We are here to understand what you sell, who you sell it to, and why. Why did you even get into this? Um, and we're not here to work with people who say because my dad told me it would make me a lot of money. I got nothing on that story. I don't even understand. Like I can't sell that. I'm sorry, and I'm not gonna lie. Um, However, I would like to, in terms of even like I can go down to like as details of my schedule. I would like to work. I'd like to go down to working 4 days a week. We've been trying to do a 4 day work week for 2.5 years. And we all give it like we can't stick to it. We all end up working
Mm.
5 days a week. And we're like, how are we gonna do this? We have to stop obsessing. So number one, I need to get better at myself and with my team with walking away, having 3 full days away from work. And what I would like is a day and a half of that to be spent on Halla. Really strong priority.
Yeah.
Very specific. I want to come in and I want to be the surgeon with the scalpel. And I want the other 2.5 days to be filled with retreat planning. I want to start doing international retreats. I want to be doing coaching. I want to be coaching, 5 or 6 people in the run of a week. My book is being published. It'll come out in April. It's just called Unshakeable, Becoming Your
Okay.
Favorite Self. I want to be talking about the book.
Yeah.
I want to be doing that impact person to person while doing the impact with Halla that is, large scale to large scale. I want to have a balance of both, but for a little while, I would like to ease up on all things marketing and stop, you know, wanting to check in on everybody and see what everybody's doing and just step back and trust and know. I mean, I have the best people. I really do. So that's the next 2 years, I would say, is going to be me stepping back so that I'm running strategy. I'm building those relationships, but I'm not the only person building those relationships. And a lot of what I'm doing, a lot of the partnerships I'm creating now, a lot of the focus of my time now is doing workshops, coaching, and retreats for Unshakable so that I'm
Yeah.
still getting that. Like everything that I do has to fill my cup. Everything that I do has to fill, there's not a void, but everything I do I have to feel like it matters.
Yeah. And that's so important because that's your purpose. So just feeding that purpose the whole way through. And it sounds like your first job is to sit down and really organize your calendar so that we can make all this happen in short
Oh
term.
my goodness, I know.
That
And
should be
like
task number
we've
one.
tried so many systems like that. As soon as I figure that one out, it is going in another book. Like how to actually do a 4 day work week after you have all promised you're going to.
Wow.
And but then this took longer and this I want to get this done and we're really passionate, we really care about it because it's not like, here's a storyboard, here's a whatever. Like
Yeah,
because we're relationship based and because we're storytelling based and because we're all storytellers, it really does, it's hard to turn it off.
I know.
But it is becoming something that I'm like, no, this is really important for all of us.
Yeah,
That like my staff, nobody has, like, everybody has paid time off. Nobody works any set hours. You just work until your work is done, which I thought would have them working less, but turns out no.
because you've got good staff. It's because you've got good staff. The bad ones would abuse
Do
that
and they
system.
care as well.
Yeah.
And I love that, but at the same time, I'm like, I do not want you to burn out. My whole focus is nobody should be burning out. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, guys, we
So
need to start practicing what we preach, okay? It's gonna be first team meeting
that is
tomorrow
for
morning. Yeah.
exactly. That is gonna be like, oh, it's not even that's not the first time I'll have said it. That'll be the 500th time, but maybe this what'll take.
Yeah, I love it. And Heather, I have one final question to ask you before we log off. So if you could go back in time to a younger self, and you could only leave your, I'm going to let you choose a time frame because your entrepreneurial journey has been quite extensive. So you can only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, something you know now, but that you didn't know back then. What would you say to yourself?
A lesson that I've learned, and I wish I'd integrated it. I started my company at 32, but I wish I'd learned this when I was 5. My mantra from when I was probably 5 or 6 on was no one is coming to save you. And I always really, really believed that. And I was actually kind of praised for that mentality, that mindset of
Yeah,
I'm going to do it myself. I would love to go back to that 5-year-old who, given circumstances, understandably believed no one is coming to save you and say, other people, relationships, um, trust your gut on who is good and not. And don't always see the good in everybody because that's what I do. Trust your gut. The first time it seems wrong, it's wrong. But that doesn't mean don't trust people. So my advice would be learn how to rely on other people
I love that. Well,
and who to rely on.
yeah, trust yourself along the way as well. That's the only
Absolutely.
person you trust. I love it. And Heather, what a great way to end the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out best to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
The easiest ways, you can find me pretty much everywhere at Halla Connected. So just HALA and then the word connected. The Instagram page for the Unshakable coach is currently under development. It exists. It's just doesn't have anything in there yet because we're still working on content because I got too busy doing the work. Um, at my website, https://halla.agency. Quickest and easiest way to get me is via email, heather@hallaconnected.com. I do have a fantastic admin who keeps me in line and keeps me under control. And she does prioritize anyone who is interested in learning more about our stuff. Like she's very good at sending out requests to our team members and always making sure that within 2 days I am prepped and aware and I know that this person is looking to meet. So very often email. So heather@hallaconnected.com is the best way to get my best self quickly.
Amazing. Beautiful. And thank you again for joining us. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to go and check out Heather and all the amazing stuff that she's up to. And do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future by wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team. and discover how we went from $0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing, and we will see you on the next one.